What's the oldest book you've ever read? Maybe a Shakespeare play like Romeo and Juliet, or the Odyssey, or other epics written from that time? Well, there's a place that specializes in old texts from history. That place, the Ahmed Baba Institute, and it has thousands of old books, and it works hard every day to preserve and protect them.
The Ahmed Baba Institute was created by the government of Mali in 1972 in the city of Timbuktu. It was built to preserve and collect Arabic and Islamic manuscripts. This would help the history and culture of many regions in Africa. It was funded mainly by the Middle Eastern nations of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. The institute is characterized by arched openings and doorways and was made with mud to pay homage to the ancient roots of Timbuktu. The building also had a state-of-the-art ventilation and fire detection system to preserve the documents housed inside.
The institute was significant to the government because it would hold major documents tied to the history of Mali. In larger culture, it was important because many nations' history were on the documents in the building. The institute also held many writings from the religion of Islam, which are important to billions of people around the world today. Translated works of people like Plato and Hippocrates were in some of the manuscripts that were held at the institute. Other things some of the manuscripts had on them were ancient astronomers, scientists, and doctors' writings. Many of these manuscripts were very old and could date all the way back to the 13th century. This is one of the many reasons manuscripts like these were brought to the Institute in the first place.
A terrorist group known as Ansar Dine set fire to the library on January 28, 2013, during the Malian coup. The coup was caused by the military being continually displeased with the leadership against the Tuareg rebels. These rebels were fighting in the northern part of the country, and the government was not handling the situation well. During the coup, Timbuktu was taken under control of Ansar Dine. The group was founded in 2011 and was a domestic front group in Mali. They aimed to establish Sharia law across Mali and targeted Western civilians and peacekeepers. Today, they are active in Mali, Senegal, and Mauritania. Ansar Dine has over 100 vehicles at their disposal, and their soldiers are armed with light weapons like guns. They occupied Timbuktu from June 2012 to January 2013, when the French military intervened and kicked them out.
Here is a picture of the books and manuscripts in the institute that were burned when Ansar Dine set fire to the building in 2011. As you can see, it was very devastating and hurt the institute's many documents.
The members of Ansar Dine were Islamic extremists who believed that Mali was too Western and needed to be more Islamic. This belief is similar to other Islamist movements that have popped up around the world. The terrorist group's position was that anything sinful, like the manuscripts in the Institute, were pagan writings and needed to be destroyed under Sharia law. Sharia law is a set of beliefs in the religion of Islam. It is derived from the teachings of the Quran, which was preached by the Prophet Muhammad during his lifetime in the early 7th century. These beliefs are taken to the extreme by many Muslim terrorist organizations, such as Ansar Dine. Further on this, the terrorists believed that the Ahmed Baba Institute was a blasphemous place that needed to be destroyed for its misdeeds.
When the Islamists took control of Timbuktu in 2012, the curator of the institute relied on the homes of local families to hide the manuscripts until they could be transported to Bamako, the capital of Mali. This was very risky as, if caught, many of the families and people could be executed for their protection of the documents. Over 90% of the manuscripts were saved in this effort led by the curator. This is how the Institute has continued to be impactful ever since its original building was destroyed. They continue to hold and protect old manuscripts that contained information about Arabic and Islamic history. Supporters of this evacuation were organizations such as the Prince Claus Fund for Culture and Development. These organizations showed their support by either donating or sending money for the Institute in their time of need. Now, the process of slowly scanning and digitizing the documents has begun and will soon make digital copies of all the manuscripts that were formerly in the Institute's building. This effort has been led by the European nations of Norway and Luxembourg.
Today, the Institute is still working to preserve and protect the manuscripts, even if they aren't in their original resting place. The actual building they resided in was destroyed, but the organization itself is still running today. The director, as of now, is Mohammed Diajayete, who was made director of the Institute in April of 2018. The manuscripts under his supervision have now reached about 40,000 total documents.
In conclusion, the Ahmed Baba Institute has protected and preserved the most precious manuscripts in Arabic and Islamic history. The destruction of their building in 2013 was a setback, but the Institute has bounced back and is now working just as new. The Ahmed Baba Institute has been strong against adversity and will continue to do its job for many years to come.